In today's video, we're going to use a prompt to write a song that employs the chromatic mediant to write a verse, a chorus, use the limitations put in place by our prompt to create a bridge that builds and builds and builds. I'll show you how I applied these ideas in a songwriting session, centering around a bass 6. I'll then play the completed demo track at the end of the video. Let's get started. I was messing around in A major. Here are my available chords: A, B minor, C sharp minor, D, E, F sharp minor, G sharp diminished, and then up to the A again. But I got bored pretty quickly. I'm not very good at writing diatonically, so I start borrowing chords from other keys. And I had an idea, and that's today's prompt. Use all the notes that are in A major as far as the roots, but every chord, replace the diatonic chord with a major chord. So now it goes like this: A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and back to A. By making every chord a major chord, we've introduced a few opportunities here to use chromatic mediants. A chromatic mediant has three rules to define it. There's a video below that I'll link to. It's David Bennett, does a great job explaining what a chromatic mediant is, but I'll give you the shorthand here. Is basically the mediant is the third chord in a scale. If it's A major, we're looking at the C sharp. So the root distance is important. The major third or the minor third. The second rule is the quality, meaning either both are major chords or both are minor chords. The third rule is that the two chords share a common tone. And so I'm in A major right now, and I'm going to show you higher up on the neck the two chords I selected for this song to start the song. We'll go ahead and start there. I started with a C sharp major, which is normally minor, but in this it's going to be a major, to an A. So I'm going to use the inversion up the neck. So I'll use the C, this is the C sharp, and then that's my A. And you see that my first note in the C sharp is a C sharp, but my third in the A chord is a C sharp. So that's that common tone. It's all over the place in popular music. Think about Peggy Sue. You know, it's very cinematic. The one I think of is Goldfinger, the James Bond theme song. It goes from E to C. In my band, the Dirt Boys, has taken advantage of this before. We have a song called Right or Wrong, written by Steve Chumsey, that we use the chromatic mediant on.
I met the girl up on the side of the road. She says to me, come on, let's go for a ride. I'll take you places that you never seen. We'll cross right down the yellow line. Right or wrong, she always finds a way to get upset.
There's one final wrinkle for this prompt, and you're seeing it right here. It's my Squier bass 6. I want to write everything for this song using the bass 6. It's an octave lower than a regular guitar, so it has a lot of really cool. It's very exotic. I bring this to band practice, and it just throws things off the rails because everyone wants to have a turn on it, and we wind up just like rocking out for 2 hours while people play stuff that's familiar. On this, it becomes very unfamiliar, and one of the reasons is it's so muddy. In fact, right now I have the choke switch on. Each of these is a pickup selector for the 3 pickups, and then this final one is a choke switch. And what that does is it takes away the low end. So I'm going to turn that off. And now you see it's much more bass-like. And I actually want that in this song. I want the bass because this is going to be my bass instrument. But I also want the melodic stuff, the high stuff. I have to voice this song a little differently. I can't just strum chords because it'll become a muddy mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spread things out across the neck. I'm going to leave out fifths a lot of the time. I'm going to play arpeggiated finger style, but also just let things chime. So we discussed it a little bit already, but I really wanted to drive that chromatic mediant home, so I am taking the C sharp, making it major, down to the A. Again, super muddy, right? So instead, I'm going to play it higher up the neck. And if you watched my previous video, I'll link to it below. I love an add 9 chord, I love a sus2. So I add that to give myself a little... Again, these chords are already mysterious together, right? Very ethereal, very cinematic. But now I'm putting a little more on top of it with that add 9. So I do that a few times, and I like that. But also, I need some place to go here, and I always kind of look for, or I won't say always. I often look for resolution. And a good way to get some resolution here is to go back home or back to the major key. Now I haven't left the roots, right? I was inside of A major, but I'm actually going to play the proper chords here for my next 2 chords. I'm going to play the D and the A. Gives me a little bit of like feeling like, okay, I know where I am now. This is familiar to me. But again, can't play them like this, it's too muddy. So I'm going to break them up, take advantage of my open string, and get my double stop here. That same chord shape for back to the A. But again, I can't resist putting a little melody in. My sequence is C sharp add 9, A add 9, D to A. So for the chorus, I again wanted that chromatic mediant theme to come through. I used the mediant before, right? The third. There's also the submediant, which is the 6th. So, which in the case of A major is F sharp. So normally it's a minor, but I'm going to make it major. But again, super muddy. So I'm going to break it up a little bit. But again, I can't just leave it like that. I have to add a little melody in there because I'm doing some finger picking. So I'm going to add a 6th. And I want it to resolve. But I don't want to find another chord, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play an A add 9. By leaving the B open. So I don't always include a bridge in a song. Sometimes it's nice to just have a verse and a chorus and get out. But in this song, in this case, because I was doing so much strumming around with all the different chords that I've added through this prompt, all these major chords, I wanted to grab something else. And as I was messing around, I started thinking about, well, I'm just going up and down here. What if I do a 4-chord sequence of a D to an E, A to a B? But I got bored really quickly. And so as I was messing about, I went to the C sharp again, because that is, again, in my bridges, sometimes I like to include the main chord from the verse and chorus just as an accent, just to remind us of where we are coming from. But I thought, well, which chord do I drop? And then I thought, what if I did this as a 5-chord sequence? It really builds. It really builds. So again, I can't play it strumming if I want any clarity, right? So I wound up finger picking it. And I was just playing it over again. And then as I got going, while I was playing with a loop, I started like kind of leaning into it. And I decided that's where I was going to go with it. And so what I do with this, I loop it 12 times. 12 times is a lot, right? But what's nice about that 5-chord sequence is we're so used to a 4-chord sequence that you kind of start to lose the one. Or if you're following along, it feels like it's really building up to something. And so what I do in this arrangement here that we'll hear in a minute is that I start out with just the bass and the drums. But then every 2 sequences, I add another instrument. So I add an acoustic guitar, and then I add a bass synthesizer, and I add a guitar, and then I add a lead synthesizer, and then I add some higher guitar parts and even like an arpeggiating synthesizer until the end. So it builds and builds and builds until it gets to where I want some release. And I decided to go back to what home has been for this song, which is that C sharp add 9. And I go back to the verse. I do it a couple times, but then I just kind of wanted, again, I keep calling this like a bell. And as I started thinking about the lyrics and how I wanted this to be, the lyrics are kind of about when I was a kid and I would sleep out in the yard, and in the morning I would be awakened at the dawn, and it was earlier than I ever woke up. So I was thinking of like church bells just ringing in the distance. So the arrangement of this song started to be really informed by the lyrics. So for the lyrics, I've been doing those I remember exercises where you just think of a time in your life and you try to write down on a piece of paper as much as you can remember from that moment in your life. And I was thinking about a clubhouse my dad had built for my brothers and sisters and I in the San Joaquin Valley in California in the early 80s. And I was 8 to 10 years old when he did it. And I used to have sleepovers back there. So my dad would bring out a big CRT television and the VCR and the Nintendo. And we'd go to the video store and we'd rent games and movies. And the thing about movies back then is I think the rating system wasn't great. So we saw a bunch of movies when we were kids that were kind of scary, but really I still think about to this day, like Aliens or Dark Star. But one that really affected me was a movie called Galaxy Express 999. It was a cartoon, so it looked safe enough, but it was an anime. It just starts out with the kid's mother dying or being murdered, and then him getting a gun and going to Robot Planet, and there's multiple suicide bombers and a lot of nudity. But it really affected me as a kid, and I really loved it and rented it multiple times. And there was a hero in it, Captain Harlock, who I really took to, and I would just draw him over and over again, and all my heroes had scars on their faces and patches. I was just thinking about that and how I used to play in my backyard in that clubhouse for a couple of years in my, from ages like maybe 7 to 9 or 10, as Captain Harlock in my ship. I would make the clubhouse my ship, and we could sleep on the roof. My dad put a railing up there, but I would pretend to be Captain Harlock. I put up a fake captain's wheel up there out of cardboard to pretend. The song was just a recollection of that. I was thinking about how we would sleep at night and you would just see the world in a different way because we were on the roof. You'd go to sleep and we were in the desert, so you'd see the stars, and then in the morning it would just be this beautiful dawn. So I've made a demo track here. The idea is that I write a song, I send it to my bandmates, and if they're interested in it, we'll learn the song, and then of course come up probably with a completely different arrangement for it. That's part of the magic of collaborating with other people, is they bring their own ideas in. But this is a nice structure. I like this, and I like the ideas behind it, but I'd like to see what the band does with it. But I'm going to play the demo here. I'm really happy with how instrumentation came out. I was kind of going for an early 2000s air thing here. I was happy with that. My vocals are one of the reasons I'm doing these exercises is I've never really worked on singing, and so this is actually terrifying to throw myself out here and sing like this. Luckily, I only have like 18 subscribers. It's a nice exercise, and hopefully it's something I build over time and strengthen. So here's the track. I hope you enjoy it. As always, I thank you for your time and attention, and I hope to see you next week.